and Andrei Klimov here from Staples Center in Los Angeles. We'll send it up to ring announcer. Here's Ralph Velez.
Gentlemen, we welcome you again to Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. This is Premier Boxing Champions live on YouTube. Brought to you by Ringstar Sports, TGB Promotions, Corona, Find Your Beach, Casa Noble Tequila, The Noble Pursuit, and Showtime. This is the next attraction of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing in the super lightweight division. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout will be Patrick Russell, Dr. Lou Moret, and Rudy Barragan. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing blue and red trim trunks. He weighed in officially at 140 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 19 victories, 4 defeats, 9 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Klimovsk, Russia, presenting Andrei Klimov. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing red and green trim trunks. He weighed in officially at 141 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 15 victories, no defeats, 11 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Santa Fe, Argentina, presenting TNT, Fabian M. Referee Ray Corona for instructions.
Aquí está bien, right here is good. Touch gloves. God bless.
Fabian Maidana, who's undefeated at 15-0, just 25 years of age, the younger brother of the former world champion Marcos Maidana, taking on his toughest challenger to date, that being Andrei Klimov. Ray Flores, Chris Maddox, Abner Mares here at Staples Center in Los Angeles for Showtime Championship Boxing Countdown, getting you set for Showtime Championship Boxing, the triple header from Staples Center, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific time from Staples Center. As you're already seeing, that how big and how strong Maidana looks here, gentlemen.
Yeah, looks like a significantly stronger fighter as we head into the ring. One of the challenges I've found in watching Klimov's previous fights is that he has a tendency to try to survive at times and just doesn't engage as much as you'd like to see him do that. That'll be tough for Maidana to figure out if he wants to avoid letting this fight go the distance.
Maidana trained under Manny Robles, and Robles was just gushing after Maidana's last performance over Justin Savvy when he won by way of third-round stoppage. That was in April at Barclays Center. He said he was so impressed when Maidana was working behind the jab, using his distance and attacking the body. So he is more of a calculated fighter compared to that of his brother Abner and Marcos, who seemed to be all action all the time and more so a brawler than a technician like Fabian.
And he's doing so right now. I mean, he's measuring the guy, he's starting with the jab, trying to study him, trying to see what he's got. Not so much like his brother that would have gone, for the kill.
Maidana working behind the jab. Words I've never written in my years as a journalist.
100 seconds left here in round 1. And the team, the management group behind Fabian Maidana, they state that his brother, his younger brother, he's more technical, but let's not forget, he is a Maidana and when needed, can mix it up.
Definitely, he's got a 73% KO ratio. I mean, this is a guy who also hits.
And he's another guy, too, that we talked about with Balderas. You'll see him go to the body. You'll see him do a lot of work there. He's not just going to be out there headhunting.
And speaking of the body, for Mikey Garcia, how important is it for him, Abner, to attack the body of Robert Easter Jr., who is taller than him, has a longer frame, but that makes Easter more susceptible to body shots.
Yes, Mikey Garcia's got to take advantage of the moments Easter lets him in. Eastern has a tendency of letting the fighter in, not using that reach. So Mikey Garcia definitely has to take advantage of those
That's one of
moments.
the vexing parts about Robert Easter, who has great size for a guy in that weight class, but doesn't use it. If you watch his previous fights, not just the Fortuna fight where he didn't look good at all, but he fights kind of hunched over. He's looking to make the fight a little bit in kind of a closer range. That's not the fight you want to have against Mikey Garcia. Frankly, look, we're all looking for an all-out brawl, but for Robert Easter to win, he might have to bore us out of the building by using that jab over and over again.
It's all about getting the W's, and right now, Andrei Klimov, he's trying to establish his range, but he seems very unsure of himself as we get set to conclude round one, as Fabian Maidana has controlled the majority of the opening stanza. There you see Fabian Maidana with Manny Robles as his trainer.
Thought I saw a little bit of swelling under the right eye of no. Of Klimov. I thought it was a little swelling to the right eye of Klimov.
What are they saying, Abner?
They're great first round, great distance.
Keep the head movement and the heads, just keep doing that.
And we understand what he's saying.
Yeah, that's Buddy McGirt in the corner of Andrei Klimov, and there you see some swelling underneath the left eye.
I had the eye
Chris.
right.
Yes.
I had the eye
Yes,
right.
you did.
It's hard to tell left or right from watching you.
There you see Andrew Rodriguez, Mike Rodriguez working on Klimov. Klimov, 36 years of age. He is 11 years older than that of Maidana, similar to that of the age difference that we're going to have in our co-main event between Luis Ortiz and Razvan Kajanu. Kajanu is 30 years of age. Luis Ortiz is 39, so a 9-year age gap when it comes to our co-main event on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Yeah, certainly an age gap, experience gap, and probably a talent gap as well. This is a fight that I think Luis Ortiz should look good in and should win impressively, which I think he has to do to get himself back into the championship mix.
Well, Kajanu, he has been stopped before, having been knocked out by Donovan Dennis, but when asked about that fight, it was Kajanu who said, look, I was in a tournament, I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and it just punches happen. But Luis Ortiz is hoping to land that big thudding shot and make it an early night at the office here tonight in our co-main event. And Maidana using his jab. And again, Chris, it almost seems very odd that we're saying Maidana with the jab.
Yeah, working behind that jab, fighting a very good technical fight so far. But Abner, let me ask you, you hear trainers talk all the time about how if you see a mark under a guy or on his eye or around his eye, that becomes a target.
Yes.
Is that
That
you
is.
use that as a target practice
Yes.
kind of thing?
You see a mark, you see blood, you work that. You work that eye. That's what they say, keep working that eye, because eventually either it closes up or it opens up more. So definitely.
There you see Fabian Maidana. Andrei Klimov, he's lost 3 of 4, having lost to Alejandro Luna, Liam Walsh, and Jose Pedraza, along with Terrence Crawford nearly 5 years ago. So he has been battle-tested.
Yeah, this is the kind of opponent that, not expected to beat a Fabian Maidana. As you hear the crowd kind of booing a little bit here, it's largely because Klimov, as I said at the top, is not a guy that engages all that often. You have to make the fight with Andrei Klimov, and we'll see if Maidana decides to go that route.
But I feel that Maidana can let his hands go a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's overthinking it too much, as we see he lands a beautiful jab. If he lets those hands go, he's definitely going to land.
Well, this is certainly a very pro-action fight base and fan base here in Southern California. Abner, that's why the fans love you and Leo, because you guys, I don't think, know how to have a boring fight. I don't think you're boring in your sleep, much less in a prize fight.
That's just our styles. I mean, styles make fights, and Leo, my style, always crowd-pleasing style and performance.
Yeah, I'm in favor of making Mares Santa Cruz this generation's like Robinson Lamata.
Yeah.
We do that like 6 times, and we'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys might not want to do that 6 times.
We'd love to see it 6
Yeah.
times. If I could, I'd love to see it 60 times, but that's not possible. What I do know is possible is we have 15 seconds to go here in round 2 between Fabian Maidana and Andrei Klimov. Klimov still fainting, and if there was a fainting contest, Klimov would certainly be winning, but it is about landing the more authoritative shots, and that ends the second.
Yeah, I agree with Abner that, Maidana has to realize at this point, 2 rounds in, that Klimov can't hurt him. No, he's not throwing anything with any kind of power. Let your hands go. see if you can do some real damage.
And the swelling is intensifying on the left side of the face of Andrei Klimov.
How's everything over here?
Good, baby. Feels good, bro. Thank you.
Cerradito, ¿sí? Sin exceso de confianza. Muy bien, mi niño. ¿Cómo se siente? Ahí cerrado, tapa, tapa y contestas.
What are they saying now?
They're
Ya
telling
está
him
empezando a retroceder.
he's backing up now.
Ya hay que empezar a
You got to
meterlo
start
más.
throwing more punches, take advantage of those moments.
Here's some of the work from the round.
Just missing on that left hook, catching him right on the back of the head there. Referee stepping in, quick warning.
More action here. Fabian Maidana, Andrei Klimov, round number 3. This one's scheduled for 10. Ray Flores, Ebner Mares, Chris Maddox getting you set for Showtime Championship Boxing in just over an hour. Starting off strong with the left hook is Maidana, seeming to be more aggressive. But Fabian Maidana does know Mikey Garcia to a degree. The reason being is when Maidana was preparing for a matchup in July of 2016, Jorge Maisonet Jr., he actually sparred with Mikey Garcia as they were both trained at the same time by Robert Garcia, and Mikey was Maidana's chief sparring partner.
Wow, I wish I could have seen those sparring sessions. I came to the team a little bit too late for that.
But that's some quality work, Chris, when Maidana is working with Mikey Garcia, who is just coming back into the ring. I believe at the end of that month here on Showtime Championship Boxing, he fought Elio Rojas.
Yeah, look, as Abner could attest, the real work and the real damage gets done in those sparring sessions.
Yes.
You have some wars out there with great fighters.
Maidana continuing to try to break down Andrei Klimov, and the fans a little restless, but I still, it is only 6 o'clock Pacific time. I guarantee you they will not be restless when we start off with Showtime Championship Boxing coming up in just over an hour. If you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com to start your free trial. Lightweight unification matchup featuring Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter Jr.
You know, trainers, how they handle sparring always interests me. I was in camp with Adrian Broner not long ago, and Mike Stafford had him and Hank Lundy in a sparring session for like 39 consecutive minutes. No stoppages. And at one point, they were just insulting each other in the ring. It was... I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, to me, that's not learning. To me, those are what you call gym wars. It's just an ego type of, sparring session. But hey, everybody's different.
You'd rather leave the wars for when you're getting paid prize fighter money.
Fabian, a little bit more work in this round. Still would love for him to let those hands go as he does right there. He does have a beautiful right hand. He's got power in it, but he has to let it go more.
Well, he's a thinker, Chris, as you pointed out earlier in the fight. He is a thinker, but he's 25 years of age. He clearly has the physical ability and the physical advantages. He just has to be able to react instead of think too much.
Yeah, and it goes along with what we were saying, kind of have that killer instinct. I mean, his brother, every time he was out there, every shot he threw was looking for a knockout. This is more of a tactical fighter, but he does have that power. So he's been better this round at letting those hands go. Like to see him accelerate that a little bit more.
Under 10 seconds to go here in round 3 between Fabian Maidana and Andrei Klimov. That ends the third. And Maidana again with Manny Robles as his lead trainer.
Ya viene el cuarto round, ¿sí? ¿De acuerdo? Entonces ya le está bajando el ritmo, ya cómo siente la pega del rival.
Here comes this is the 4th round. How do you feel him? Do you feel his punch? Nothing? All right, now you can press on the gas. Risk a little bit more. Take him to the ropes and punish him to the body.
You guys trying to go to your body. Okay? You're trying to throw the right hand here.
Well, he's blinking heavily is Andrei Klimov. So that is a massive, or it's becoming a bigger mouse underneath his left eye. Could that impair his vision at all, Abner, as the fight progresses?
Yes, without no doubt. And then definitely with those right hands that Maidana is still landing. We'll see how this round plays out now that he got the instructions to really press on that gas, accelerate, and push him back.
Well, Chris, unlike in this fight with Maidana, Carlos Balderas was focusing on the body and really being synonymous with tattooing the body of his opponent, Giovanni Calderon. Maidana hasn't really been targeting the body of Andrei Klimov.
Yeah, I've seen him do it a little bit more the last 2 rounds. You saw him aim down there just a second ago, but in previous fights, in previous knockouts, I've watched a lot of good body work there. So, you know, Klimov is clearly a much more experienced opponent. He's better at blocking shots than any of the guys that Maidana's faced, but certainly headhunting, you like to see him mix it up.
And especially because I would have to give this bit of credit to Andrei Klimov. He does have solid head movement. Everything else I don't think has been doing well against whatsoever, but he does have solid head movement.
Look, he's here to take this fight the distance. He's here to give Fabian Maidana rest.
Yes, as you mentioned, he might be just here to survive and not give him that knockout. You know, he's definitely not letting those hands go, but he doesn't want to go out as a knockout.
Well, speaking of survival, guys, Mario Barrios has been not letting his opponents survive. His last 5 opponents, Barrios 5 straight stoppages as he takes on a very tough and durable Jose Roman to start off Showtime Championship Boxing in less than an hour here from Staples Center. If you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com as we now have 80 seconds to go here in round 4 between Maidana and Klimov.
Yeah, Barrios, one of the more interesting prospects at 140 pounds. I was talking to his manager, Louis DeCubas, earlier this morning, who told me that when he was at 130, really draining himself to get back down there. He moves up to 140. His last 5 fights all ended by stoppage. So if he gets through this fight coming up on Showtime later on, they're going to try to match him against some former champions, start to build him towards that title shot. And as we know, guys, wide open field at 140 pounds right now. Since Terence Crawford left that division, it is fertile ground for somebody to take over.
And it's as who is going to be the next marquee name in the super lightweight division. Right now, Fabian Maidana is looking to break down Andrei Klimov, and haven't seen Klimov throw anything of substance the entire round.
Maidana is not either. I feel like if Klimov were to throw a few combinations towards the end of the round, he could probably steal rounds doing that.
Fabian Maidana, big right hand. That was his best punch in a few rounds. Four rounds in the books between Maidana and Klimov. You are watching Showtime Championship Boxing Countdown. Less than an hour away from going live from Staples Center here in Los Angeles on Showtime for the triple header.
Don't take a deep breath and let out slow. One more.
Ahora ya podemos levantar el ritmo de trabajo, ¿de acuerdo?
Okay, now we could.
Está igual, el rival no deja de ser peligroso, pero hay que arriesgar un poco.
Now we could pressure. Now we could.
Le estás haciendo mucho daño cuando vas al cuerpo.
We could pressure him and really take him into deep waters.
Yo quiero más de un golpe, quiero más de 2 golpes.
I want more than 1 or 2 punches.
Here's some of the action from the 4th.
See Maidana trying to throw that body shot, just catching him in the chest, following up. Good right hand. Just didn't see enough of that in that last round.
Yeah, and then the corner really is seeing what we're seeing. You know, we need a Maidana to pressure more. We need a Maidana to let his hands go a little bit more.
Well, and Manny Robles, you started to hear him more vocal in between the 4th and the 5th, because the first couple rounds he was saying, hey, you're doing well, you're establishing yourself. Now Robles is like, okay, let's go out and let's get this guy. Let's finish him off.
And let's give Klimov credit, too. I mean, he's a guy that, you know, Terence Crawford is not an easy guy to go the distance against. Jose Pedraza, not an easy guy to go the distance against. He's been in with some good punchers, and he's a savvy guy. Just not enough offense to kind of make it worth his while.
Make a great point, yes.
Well, he's like one of those. Yeah. It's like an NFL team that they don't have much offense, but they'll lose, let's say, 20-3, and the team gets ahead 9-0, and you know that the outcome, what it's going to be, but they don't get blown out, but they lose by 20-3, something along those lines.
I don't know. I'm from Boston. We're the Patriots.
Oh,
we
boy.
always win.
Okay.
We always win.
Except if you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, but that's another topic for another day. As we are getting set for Showtime Championship Boxing coming up at the top of the hour. Fabian Maidana, Andrei Klimov. Undercard action here on Showtime Championship Boxing Countdown. Ray Flores, Chris Maddox alongside Abner Mares. Great to be here in Southern California for the lightweight unification matchup between Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter Jr.
Klimov doing a good job. I saw him land a couple of jabs right after Maidana tried to go for the body. Trying to catch him on the reaction, trying to counterpunch Maidana off that jab.
Abner, do you think that Klimov is frustrating Maidana at all? Or giving him different looks that he's never seen before?
I see a little bit of frustration. I mean, the guy's all over. He moves a lot, and he doesn't give him a target.
Look, he's got very good head movement. He's an experienced guy. And for a young fighter like Maidana, this is all new to him. I mean, sure, I'm betting you saw it in the gym. They probably bring in veteran guys, but when you're in the ring in a situation like this, it's a new experience.
But this is where the experience kicks in for Maidana. Okay, I know I'm going to miss the first, second punch, but if I go ahead and throw that third or fourth punch is going to land. So he's maintaining with one or two punches and he's missing.
Could that be a detriment with Maidana moving forward as he steps up his competition?
It could be. I mean, he's got a great corner giving him great instructions, pressuring him, telling him to really dig in there and pressure this guy.
Final moments of round 5 between Fabian Maidana and Andrei Klimov. Here at Staples Center, this place getting ready to be electric.
Okay, listen. Tell him don't stand. The guy's starting to go to the body line. Don't stand there and take no shots. Don't take no shots.
And here is some of the work from the 5th round. Maidana looking for that uppercut, but then he connected grazing shot with that left hook.
Yeah, I like what Klimov did there, as Abner pointed out during the fight. Threw a few jabs, some good shots, but you know, Maidana clearly the heavier-handed fighter. Just needs to show it a little bit more.
Round 6, this one's scheduled for 10, and don't forget, Fabian Maidana did spend some time sparring with Mikey Garcia nearly 2 years ago prior to Garcia's reemergence on the scene against Elio Rojas that was here on Showtime Championship Boxing. Mikey Garcia headlining here at Staples Center for the first time. He hasn't fought here since 2011, a lightweight unification matchup against Toledo's own Robert Easter Jr. Both fighters undefeated as well, so certainly a lot of pride on the line and huge prize-fighting ramifications following this lightweight unification battle.
I tell you, I love what Marcos Maidana did with his career. You know, he fought the big fights, he collected his paychecks, and then he said, screw it, I'm out, I'm walking away.
And it seems like he's loving life, right? Every picture I see of him is like, I see him, I don't know, I imagine him like in a resort, just the vacationing.
Yeah, he literally has just a tank top on and is eating some wonderful piece of steak and is just living life.
He and Ricky Hatton hanging out.
He's the true definition of retirement.
You know what? That's how I want to live my life down the line. Who knows? You know, that seems to be the Maidana way I can kind of empathize with.
But you see guys hang on a little bit too long, right? I mean, a guy like Maidana, easily coming off those 2 Mayweather losses, could have come back and fought other opponents, fought his way back into a title shot, but wouldn't have made anywhere near the money. Might have been a letdown mentally to come off 2 major fights like that. So he said, you know what? I had a great career. I'm going to walk away.
Smart.
Healthy, happy, and wealthy.
Well, speaking of a guy that might be holding on too long, Andrei Klimov has been somewhat competitive, but Chris, he's 36 years of age. He is now becoming a gatekeeper. How long can he continue with this way of thinking and performing as he gets into his later 30s?
No, the reality is he could probably keep going for as long as he wants. I mean, if you're a guy, even at that age, that can give a younger fighter these types of rounds, there's value in that for promoters. That's a commodity that you can have. The question is, how long, if you're Andrei Klimov, do you want to be a punching bag for guys like Fabian Maidana?
And then you become that, a punching bag. You become an opponent for fighters like Maidana. But Maidana has to take advantage of fighters like this, moments like this. He's got to pressure, really impress. I mean, there's getting a win, and there's also getting a phenomenal, impressional win.
When this is no small stage either, guys. This is Staples Center. His brother Marcos Maidana had one of his most impressive moments and glorious moments when he beat Victor Ortiz years ago. So the Staples Center is near and dear to the Maidana family. And if you're Fabian, you want to go out and really leave a good taste in your mouth by not just cruising to a decision victory, but rather cementing yourself as being a bona fide young contender.
Yeah, I mean, look, things can change, but this does look like a vintage Andrei Klimov fight. You know, against a tougher opponent, goes the distance. Maybe you learn a few lessons from it, but Klimov is a tough guy to knock out.
Don't forget, Showtime Championship Boxing comes your way at the top of the hour. If you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com. A triple header on tap, highlighted by Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter Jr. Lightweight unification, bragging rights on the line, along with 2 world titles.
Breathe, breathe. You don't see nothing, you're the boss. Breathe.
Round number 7. This was scheduled, but you heard in the corner, discussion already starting if Klimov wants to continue.
I think the referee is going to take a long look at this round and wants to see Klimov throw his hands. He doesn't want to see a non-competitive Klimov keep taking these punches.
When that's a veteran referee in Ray Corona, because on the surface, it doesn't look like Klimov is getting beat up that bad. But I think Ray Corona is worried about the lack of work rate on behalf of Klimov.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we were seeing it from him. He's not throwing as much. He's being too defensive, being a survivor then there. But, I mean, he's also taking 1 or 2 punches that could definitely change him for life.
Yeah, this doesn't feel to me like a stoppage type of fight. You know, Klimov is not, he's not winning any of these rounds, but he's throwing punches back.
When he's also blocking shots, he's moving around the ring.
Bit, yeah.
You know, he's shoving some shots away. It's not like he's taking a ton of punches flush.
You think he's more concerned about his eye than him actually, you know, taking a beating in there? Could be.
When also, I would rather have a referee be more cautious than the opposite, because it would appear as if the outcome is no longer in doubt unless Klimov has this ridiculous change of pace and swings the fight in his favor. But I'd rather have a fight be ended earlier than later, because it is such a thing as too late in boxing.
Maidana threw a good shot there. Looked like he buckled Klimov a bit. Klimov recovered.
It's a good litmus test, is Andrei Klimov, for younger fighters like a Fabian Maidana. And speaking of a good litmus test, Jose Roman is going to be a good litmus test for Mario Barrios to start off Showtime Championship Boxing coming up in less than an hour.
Yes, Jose Roman, he's a great fighter. I know him personally. I know his whole family. As a matter of fact, his younger brother, Jesse Roman. And you know what? Interesting note. I mean, I want to touch it later on. He had trouble training, finding coaches. He was going through a bad moment in his life. His dad having he was diagnosed with I forgot what he had, but you know, unfortunately, a year ago he passed. So you know that led to 2 of his defeats.
Nice left hook. Down
wow.
goes Klimov, right there on the button.
No, yeah, he's done.
And this one is over.
Looked like the corner stepped up to stop that fight. Anytime after you see a fighter go down face first, you know that's a tough shot he took.
And the way he came back up, it was just like his body wasn't it.
Well, he gets style points, does Fabian Maidana. His brother Marcos Maidana stopped Victor Ortiz years ago, and Fabian Maidana keeps that theme going with a stoppage over Andrei Klimov.
Hey, credit Maidana for doing what Crawford couldn't do, what Pedraza couldn't do, what Liam Walsh couldn't do. That's an impressive way to finish a fight against an opponent that's tough to stop.
Well, Maidana, it took him a little while to get the engine revved up, but slow, steady, consistent, and he went out and finished it off when the time was right.
Beautiful right hand, beautiful hook. So we're going to see right there.
Boom.
There it is.
There is that left hook. It took him a little while. He almost face planted face first.
You know, wasn't Abner a left hook that looked like it landed flush? It's got him right in that right spot that seemed to discombobulate him and send him down face first. I think that plus the accumulation of punches that he took caused the corner to throw the towel in.
Yes, no doubt. I mean, he was taking a few punches, and that right hand definitely set up that hook that just took him out.
And Abner, what do you guys call that? Isn't that like you've been short-circuited? Is what? Because everything sort of gives
shuts down. Your body just shuts down, and we can see it clearly with the body just boom.
Right on the chin.
It took a little while.
Kind of a wacky knockout there. Doesn't send him flat in his back, but straightforward. Again, that's the toughest. Those are the toughest kind of knockdowns. I've seen Paul Williams go down face first. I saw Calvin Brock once go down face first. You go down face first, it's a different kind of knockdown.
And Ray Corona stopping it. We'll take a look at it again. Here is Fabian Maidana knocking out Andrei Klimov.
And here you see, watch Maidana set this up with a straight right hand, gets the guard down, clips him right on the chin with that left hook.
And Fabian Maidana improves to 16-0 with a dozen knockouts on his dossier. We'll set it up to Ralph Velez.
Ladies and gentlemen, official time, 2 minutes, 32 seconds of round number 7. Your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated from Santa Fe, Argentina, TNT, Fabian Maidana.
And Fabian Maidana improves his record to 16-0 as he finishes off Andrei Klimov, something that Terrence Crawford could not do. And now we once again join you here at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Ray Flores, Chris Mannix.